Right now, Minister in the Presidency Mondli Gungubele has updated the media on yesterday's special cabinet meeting with the resignation of David Mabuza as Deputy President and a cabinet reshuffle imminent. More details are expected to emerge in the next few days. Now, our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge has been following that story for us in Pretoria, and he joins us now live from the capital. Sipa, in terms of this cabinet reshuffle being imminent, etc., what did the minister say cabinet decided yesterday, or heard at least from the president yesterday?
Nothing much. Unfortunately, the only person who can answer that question is President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, because he's the one who has to announce these cabinet changes. Minister in the Presidency, Mr. Mondli Gungubele, saying, well, it's the prerogative of the president. It's a standard answer that all ministers and government officials have been giving all along, because there is nothing much they can say or do about it. They are also anxious because it affects them directly. Nobody knows how President Ramaphosa will basically throw his lineup when he decides to reshuffle, except to say, if you read all the indications, everything that is being reported right now is pure speculation, simply because President Ramaphosa has not confirmed that he will be doing it or when he will be doing it, but speculation is rife that at least this evening or any time from this evening he will be doing it. However, he still needs to finalize a bit of consultations with alliance partners. He did engage with COSATU and the SACP over the weekend, but they did not conclude their engagements. Hence, it's been expected that this morning or this afternoon he was going to finalize those engagements with alliance partners in terms of the lineup and the people that he will be deploying. They will make their final input, suggestions and recommendations. After that, the president can call in those people that he will be deploying, and he will later address the nation about the reconfiguration of his executive. But speculation has been continuing, especially after the resignation of a former Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. David Mabuza. Of course, there is a vacancy now. The president will have to appoint a Deputy President from members of Parliament, and that is, of course, necessitated by the fact that Mr. Paul Mashatile, who's the Deputy President of the ANC, was recently sworn in as a Member of Parliament. So he is the one who's tipped to be appointed Deputy President of the Republic. But it's all up to the President. Take a listen to how Mr. Gungubele responded when he was asked by members of the media that question.
You know that the President has acknowledged the need to close the gaps. The President has made an undertaking to appoint a Minister of Electricity. Naturally, once he acknowledges the gap and he makes an undertaking that job will be done. But the dates, time, the hour, the President. That's the one answer. There's always a hope that a different answer is going to come. Was the President surprised by what to call? By resignation? I don't think so. The President would have spoken about this even in public, that the Deputy President expressed his contemplation to leave, but he agreed that please wait a little bit. I want to move from a point that, in line with his agreement with the President, he has acted in line with that. I want to believe.
So, Sipa, we saw the U.S. Embassy basically having a security alert for its citizens living in South Africa, saying they need to stock up on food, on water, and even medicine. What did the minister have to say about this?
Well, they say that alert is really not something that should be taken seriously, because the South African government does not have information that corroborates or suggests that things are about to go south in South Africa. They say they have noted that alert, but there is nothing much. There is no need for South Africans to panic. Of course, that alert is related in terms of the ongoing blackouts and power cuts in South Africa, the issue of water shortages. So the Americans issued that alert to its citizens in South Africa and those who plan to visit the country. In the main, there are three main concerns that have been raised by the Americans. rolling blackouts, the issue of water shortages now in the game, and violent crime in South Africa. Based on that, the alert was issued to say American citizens and those visitors who will be coming to South Africa, be extra cautious when you go there, stock up on food and just essentials, because there seems to be this ongoing instability, something that the South African government has dismissed. Let's just take a listen.
Cabinet noted the alert issued by the United States Embassy as part of the U.S. government's standard communication to its citizens traveling and living in other countries. It indicated a level 2 travel advisory was in effect, advising them to exercise increased caution due to crime and civil unrest, as well as to stockpile 3 days' worth of supplies, medicine and first aid supplies. We want to make this point that government continuously monitors all areas that impact on our nation. Any concern is acted upon swiftly to ensure that the safety of everyone to ensure the safety of everyone in the country. Should there be any risk detected, the government will be the first to inform the public so far.
So, Sipa, did he mention whether or not Cabinet discussed the allegations, the corruption allegations by the former Eskom CEO, Andre de Ruyter?
Of course, there was no way that issue wouldn't have been discussed, because it would seem that it's been causing a lot of trouble and headache for the South African government. President Ramaphosa himself was asked about that question when he hosted his Ugandan counterpart, President Yoweri Museveni. He urged the former CEO of Eskom, Mr. Andre de Ruyter, to report all the allegations to law enforcement authorities, saying he's got trust that they will investigate those. He must take that information to law enforcement authorities and agencies. Minister Gungubele echoing the same sentiments to say it's disturbing that a CEO of a power utility will make these wild allegations. If he has information, he must go to law enforcement authorities. Let's just listen to him.
Cabinet joined President Cyril Ramaphosa in his call for former Eskom CEO Andre de Ruyter to report allegations of corruptions at Eskom to the police. Our crime-fighting institution stands ready to arrest and prosecute those who break the law. We call upon anyone with information related to crime and corruption to report what they know to the relevant law enforcement authorities. All of us are duty-bound to fight corruption and to the prescriptions of the prevention and combating of corruption activities, commonly known as PRECA Act, which requires people in position of authority in public and private sector to report all corruption activities.
All right, senior reporter Siphamandla Goge live for us in the capital. Thank you. Let's leave it there for now.